this elaborate plan with pulling out the advanced technology, the frequency tuning, all of it is one most important thing that we miss. And we're going to get down to that here. And it really slipped my mind, and a lot of people probably didn't see this. But we're going to get to it here live today. But first, we want you to take a look at something. They call it the giant artificial sun. You notice how it looks, right? Take a look at that. And then take a look at that. What is this a depiction of? Well, this was the Borg, right? This was something they depicted in a movie in Star Trek. I don't even watch that really. But I noticed the similarities that they had to, and it was a part of the hive mind agenda as well. Well, why do I bring that up? It's because the same people initiating this are the people that are working for the invisible waves, Jet Tomahawk, all this stuff. Everybody who's launching these different devices on the world. And I told you, I said, eventually it would lead to something bigger. And that's exactly what we're coming to find out. Well, ELF is what they've been using. And ELF is exactly what was needed to manipulate the mind of a lot of people with mind control waves and everything else. And so let's go into what they've actually been talking about. Strumming magnetic field lines. The measurement that interests Tingley are, or however you say his name, are low frequency electromagnetic waves in tomahawk plasmas. So this is what the artificial sun is literally going to be shooting out. So you got to ask yourself the question, why would they want to, and why does that interest them at such a high rate? Well, I told you the other day that Nokia has chosen to leave 6G's hive mind. Who is Nokia ran by? Well, China did a lot of that. The DoD is also going to be using Nokia as well. So they're initiating the hive mind agenda too. But it's something bigger here that is going to come about as you see the videos. Now, check this out. Human brainwave. Delta is the frequency up to 4 hertz, 4, 7, and it's telling you the bioelectromagnetic field, which is unique for every human body. This electronic signature frequency ID of each object, radar electronic signal, detect the object of human body for modulation, human brainwave. This is something they've been working on for years, but the biggest thing that slipped my mind, and that's why they want to have the electronic cars to be low frequency so they can modulate you as well. But the biggest thing that pretty much slipped my mind is what I'm about to show you here in just a second. Now, if you look at this study, magnetic mind control works in live animals, makes mice happy. Using a magnet, researchers remotely control brain circuitry and alter behavior. So we put that into the magnet mind control Earth concept video before already. But once we leap past this, it's something that's all around every last one of us that we've been not literally taking into account that they could actually modulate this. And I was doing some big studies today, so I'm going to give you that information now. And then I'm going to show you a video depicting what this object is and how it's able to be used against us. And it's all around us. It's literally everywhere. It just was something I didn't think of. And here is one thing you need to check out. Magnetic rust controls brain activity. Mouse study suggests wirelessly controlled nanoparticles can provide a non-surgical way to do deep brain stimulation. And so we've heard of the whole situational aspect of the smart dust and everything else, but we're talking just regular rust. They can put nanoparticles and then wirelessly control that and using a magnetically mind control grid to then modulate the brain waves from external sources. So again, the thing is this, I'm going to take you into this video clip here and you're going to say, well, is rust magnetic? That's the next question. And if that's not the next question, I mean, we're going to show you the video clip here in just a second with a guy. He's right here doing this study, right? And this is black iron oxide, which can rust. And then he had a red one that could rust, and then he had steel. So what he's doing right now is he's moving them with magnets. And I've seen videos of people scraping their car and they see little magnetic dust come off of their car. And these videos have been everywhere. Like people have been scraping it off their cars, and I've been checking it out, and a lot of people have. And so the circuitry control system, the whole objective here is IT, or the artificial sun, the fusion tomahawk, all of them are symbolizing this Borg system. That's a mass mind control system. It's a hive mind system. And at the same time, they need that grid to be launched on full scale. And until they do launch it full scale, that is the only time where you'll see significant differences in the humans, and animals, and different insects. All of it is going to be in one package. It's begun 666 frequency. And we're going to talk about more than that. This filing on the FCC's website really literally gets out all the detail aspect. Crazy things are beginning, and they've already begun, but we need to know a further detail so that we can all understand where they're taking us. As I told you recently, a weird project with a demonic name called You Know What Ouija program seeks to enhance high frequency radio capabilities. And I also discussed to you that the so-called demon spectra, which is a frequency, was at 63.6. Well, now we found out even something deeper. So we all have cell phones. Guess what frequency the blue light is on? 6.666. And guess what the blue light does? It's one of the most damaging frequencies, the most damaging energy, and it penetrates all the way through our eye, our retina, causing the most damage. But that's not even the biggest thing we're going to talk about here. Also, they can use frequencies, according to this, report from these doctors, at 847 millihertz to literally come after you, disable you, and you'll no longer be a problem for the establishment. So 847 MHz. But check out this file in here. It goes way deeper, telling you where the whole situation goes from here. And I'm going to tell you right now. Which contain a 10 Hz ELF mind control frequency, according to a U.S. scientist, Dr. Andrija, however you say it, MD. The Soviet pulses covered the human brain frequencies. And guess what? At 6.66, the frequency would cause depression. And guess what 11 would do? 11 Hz signal would cause maniac riotous behavior transmissions, could indeed entrain the human brain and thereby induce behavioral modification. Propulsions or populations, can be mind controlled and masked by ELF transmissions and more. So we're talking about, they just said the literal spectrum of frequency that needs to be modulated. And then check out what's going to be put in the smart cities. Smart grids, big data analytics for smart cities, high cutoff frequency of 11 Hz. And so that's why they call it the hive mind control system, because they're going to have people having riotous, crazy behavior in those cities. So again, also it has a factor to the whole RNA switch that really affects people a lot as well. Let's go into what they say here though. And it goes in, it talks about transmissions could indeed entrain the human brain. Modifications, it says, more importantly, he found that an ELF signal could cause cancer at the flick of a switch. It did this by modifying the function of the RNA however you say that, phrases, so the amino acid sequences are scrambled and produce unnatural proteins. Mind control, torture. And so it's really crazy here that we go into this, and we're about to get into even deeper aspects of it and read just deeper into it more. So this whole race here, we're about to go down into it even deeper here. So 8:45, they can literally shut you off. And then it goes in to say, my research shows that microwave telephone network also has a potential to be used as a major mind control weapon. We already knew that. But basically, he said precisely modulated microwave radiation is used to influence brain function. Human behavior reactions can be entirely controlled by using pulse modulation EM radiation. And goes in to say, trouble or rioting, and it says, for a strategic mind control device against the civilian population in times of trouble or rioting, crucial to modification of the behavior general population in modern democracies, is no longer viable to have to shoot or torture dissidents by normal means, as the bad publicity is self-defeating. Thus, microwave weapons have been developed as UK and obviously US as well, military intelligence. They leave no marks or gaping wounds. what the annihilation frequency is and how the military will be using it, and how can we as a people find some way to beat these agendas. So today we're going to get into all the oncoming situations that really is going to be bigger than what everybody's told you right now. A way to trick the minds of man and woman, connected to a global frequency grid. And when this frequency starts to flicker, this begins a new age of the warfare of hallucinogenic technology coming to our lives. Even your clothes will be connected to a brain interface grid sent to technologists to track you down with high elite soldiers. As you flee to get away from the smart grid, you're submerged in it, and they use it against you and deploy the troops to come after you while using psychological operation of technology starts inducing you. Meanwhile, troops are deploying on your position with Internet of Things technology wired into the entire environment. You start seeing things that doesn't exist. Now your attention is caught for the certain moment as they close in on you, and you're being induced with a flicker rate of 8 Hz frequency from 5 to 30 was what they perfected to induce the flicker rate on the human brain. And then down comes the second wave of the hallucinogenic technology to send voices your way, and at the same time direct you, making you think troops are coming one way when actually in reality it's the opposite. But not everybody will be tricked and deceived by this due to the sixth sense, the ESP perception induced. Sometimes the sixth sense will be much stronger than what we know, but then there will be others who get caught in this trap. As you go through the tunnel, getting away from the situation, and you put your EMF clothes on, you notice that something strange just happened and you've seen it right in front of your eyes. Smart tunnels underground where the frequency was flickered. Hot pockets and beef ribs. And the person you see in front of you is clearly induced under hallucinations and cannot get out of it. And then you see troops close in on that person and gun them down. They recently just came out a report about a global metasurface reconstruction illusion technology. And this thing is intelligent in its own way. How? We'll tell you that here in just a few. But this is the next generation of intelligent metamaterials that will be used on the world for real world optical illusions. So the question is, hot chicken and goose niblets, what is the other situation to this picture that could help us out? And what can we do on this crazy world that we're living in? Now, before we go further, I want to go back to this FCC filing that was put in by a law firm, and it went in to say that these transmit extremely low ELF signals which mimic natural brain waves, and at the flick of a switch, all the people around these microwave transmitters are turned into submissive zombies who cannot think clearly, become depressed, which is the 666 frequency, which is the blue light frequency, apathetic, and want to lounge around all day doing nothing. Okay, so now it tells you why would they put the blue lights up, why would they put the bluish purple lights up. It's a reason behind that. And obviously the zombie frequency, we get it. It can go further than that and make you act really weird. But we want to say, if you have the blue light still on your phone, the most important thing to do is to go ahead and filter that out. It's on your phone. You can filter it out. Anything emitting blue light that you're using, you should be filtering it completely out. Now, it's other frequencies that are healing frequencies. How can we get into that? That's the real question here. I don't think the military just has dolphins protecting all of their strategic stockpile for no reason. Russia recently did the same thing. Now, there's something about these frequencies, and they did some studies, John C. Lilly, with nanobots, mind control, and all this other stuff. And he had dolphins, and they have ultrasound coming from dolphins. And if you're looking at new movie depictions, this was a depiction from the old days when they were doing this experiment. This is from a movie when they show you they're putting the exact same things on and could be exactly doing what we thought they were doing. Now, if you look in this report, it says ultrasound efficiency in relation to sodium hypochlorite, however you say it, infiltration absorption and microbial elimination. So literally, what are they saying here? They're saying ultrasound, which is what dolphins use, actually cleans out certain elements in the water as far as microbial elements. Now, a lot of people are asking the question, will it be able to beat nanobots and all these other things? Will it be able to rattle them at a frequency that destroys them? Because even though the 8Hz frequency is what they're specifically using to induce hallucinations and all this other stuff, which is exactly what they need in order to keep us in this constant state of hysteria as well and confusion. Also, dolphins use the 8Hz frequency, but it's a better half of it that's not as harmful to the body of humans. And so the deeper aspect is here, the healing frequency coming from dolphins may be a big, huge puzzle into the piece of this chapter of us defending ourselves against a lot of these different crazy situations that we're going to be dealing with. Now, if you missed the big video I put out already, it was about the whole frequency situation before this.